Lewis, you're clear to go whenever you get some quiet. Shut up, Yosh.
Welcome back to the Nerd Movie Podcast. I feel like you should keep the whole minute before we actually started in the show.
Fair enough.
One more time, say it. Girl, what?
Name of this episode is Girl, You So Fine.
Girl, you so fine. Come on. Come dance with me. And cut the proverbial rug.
I don't even know how to go from there. So we are a professional podcast. We're back. We took a week off because shit went south for a minute, but we're back.
Because fuck if it's any of your fucking business.
Yeah. We have a 1 1/4 review for you guys. We're going to be talking about Bad Trip and Freaky. But more importantly, next week we're doing Mortal Kombat. So
live episode. So this will be out on Monday, and we'll be doing Saturday. Will be the live episode. That'll be all things MK related.
Saturday, the 24th, correct?
24th, yes, live.
Which means you have no excuse. You if you're listening, you should be able to watch that movie and listen to our review the night after.
Yeah, and we are contemplating doing something else a little bit special.
Prove the reason why fucking HBO Max is doing the right thing versus the theaters doing the wrong thing.
Yes.
See, in my opinion right now, though, HBO Max has only has 3 to their credit, which is Snyder Cut, Godzilla, and Mortal Kombat. Wonder Woman was like meh. You know what I mean? Like, they haven't... The first couple movies they've released haven't been, like, out of the park. But this tear they're on now is proving they're you know, basically that they can shape the industry any fucking way they want.
Yeah, which actually, speaking of movie theaters, because I had sent the boys text the other day, because I looked up... I actually did this because Alex was the one who did it first. We were watching... What the fuck? We were watching a horror movie that had just came out. It's on Shudder. It's called The Banishing. And I was just thinking, like, man, if I went to saw this movie in theaters, like, how much would I pay? In my head, I was like, oh, man, I'd probably be paying, like, $30 for 2 tickets... middle of the day in Naperville, Illinois, which is it's not as expensive as Chicago, but
here's the thing: Naperville was just rated, wasn't it, like the best town to raise your kids in, though?
Yeah, I can see that.
I think they just it's somewhere high up. It was all over the place for like a week. That Naperville is like rated the best place.
But two tickets, middle of the day, 1 large popcorn, an icy, and a sweet tea was, I believe, $63.
Ooh, that's sweet tea.
Was what I got.
Yeah, something like that. Do you remember what the movie cost was just for the tickets alone?
I want to say it was almost $20 a ticket.
So, $20 a ticket? That's expensive. The one that I did back then, $28 just for the tickets alone for 2. And then I did 2 large drinks, and then loaded baked tater tots because I don't like sharing with my wife. And then
but you...
That's that gourmet shit.
I don't know why you added loaded tater tots.
Because if we go out, we're not going to fucking cook dinner when we get home. And we weren't going to go out to dinner before that because we wouldn't have time to make it to the theater. Okay. So it'd be just one of those things we'd go straight there and fucking eat fucking junk food.
So
it's $89 for me, just for my wife and I, if we decided to go to the theater.
I don't understand why a movie like Nobody only has 4 showings the entire day, and Tom and Jerry has 4. Literally, Jurassic Park, the original movie, has 3 showings in this theater, but Nobody, which is a brand new movie, has 4 showings. Meanwhile, Godzilla has 14.
Yeah, Alex, it was $16.99 per ticket by me. Large popcorn, $9.79.
Shit, the movie ticket alone for you guys that's almost what $31 and shit, or $32.
So yeah, but even still, I mean,
I just checked. Tickets alone at the 11 a.m. showing, the first showing, $10.30 for the first showing. The sodas are now $7.50. The popcorns are $11.50 for the large. I don't really look at the other shit because I don't go with that gourmet shit. You go to the Dollar Tree in the plaza because there's always a Dollar Tree next to the theater somewhere. Within a 2 fucking mile radius, you can find a Dollar Tree. You go there, you load the cargo shorts with different ghetto candies that only cost you $1 a buck. My favorite being the vanilla Tootsie Rolls. They're delicious.
I thought you were gonna say Mellow Cups.
No. See, I like peanut butter cups, but they're not like for me. I don't know. Like
is Mellow Cup peanut butter?
Oh no, that's the cream.
That's the marshmallow.
The fluff no, you know I like the whatchamacallits. And I
love whatchamacallit.
They're great. I don't like marshmallow all that much, except this time of year when you get the little fucking carton of chocolate covered marshmallow eggs. I can eat 6 dozen of those, so that's why I don't buy them because I will just inhale them like a fucking vacuum.
You know, my youngest told me the other day after Easter, she said that she likes to open the Peeps and let them go stale and then eat them that way. And I was like, okay.
Here's the thing. Peeps are disgusting. It's just, they're gross.
But she lets them go stale and then she eats them.
That's because if they're stale, they actually have texture.
Okay.
That's how I feel about candy corn.
Don't you talk shit about candy corn.
No, I just like I don't know anyone that is like I would love a Peep right now besides like a serial killer. Same with candy corn.
You know what? I would love some goddamn candy. My favorite candy corn is the pumpkins with the chocolate in it too.
I don't like the pumpkins. No,
I like it all. I like to eat candy corn and drink milk. You want to talk about psychopathic? Shove your fucking face full of some candy corn and take a swab of milk and chew it all up. It's delicious.
There was a term we had for offbeat candy like that growing up called ghetto candies.
Yep.
Matt loved ghetto candies.
I loves the ghetto candies to this day.
Candy corn though, I always bite the white portion of the candy corn off first, and I eat that, and then I throw the rest of it in my mouth and eat that.
You know what? It depends. Sometimes I'm lazy and it's like handful in, but I don't eat it anymore. But because the problem is I don't buy sweets. Because if I buy sweets, I have the tendency to gorge. And right now, I'm a part of our whole like healthy, lifestyle change. I'm trying to lose weight and work out and everything again. So I'm not allowing myself to eat sweets. And my wife is like sabotaging me at every fucking corner. Like the other day, I came home and there was a gift baggie of clearance like. Literally, she got Easter candy, so it was lemon Kit Kats, Reese's Bunnies, the big goddamn Reese's Bunnies, and a carton of those chocolate eggs, the chocolate-covered marshmallow eggs I just described. And I'm like, you're trying to keep me fat. And she's like, no, I'm not. And then I come over yesterday, and on my desk is 2 4-packs of Cadbury eggs.
Oh, I never even got one of those.
Not the little ones.
I love Cadbury eggs.
The big, like, fucking fat ones. And she's like, well, they were 2 for $1. And I'm like... trying not to eat this shit, and if it's here, I'm gonna fucking eat it. Like, if sugar is my.
Are you guys in a competition type thing, or is it just working together?
I can't win in that competition. She just got surgery to help it. That's like she's got steroids in a fucking bodybuilding contest. I'm doing my own method, which is you don't fucking need to eat anymore right now, asshole. The thing is, I changed the method, so like now I don't even eat a lot. Like before it was like, fuck, I miss buffets. And now I'm in the mode where it's like, I would get a plate in. Like, I'd have to be really choosy at this point of what I put on it because I don't eat a ton. So my meals are smaller. Like, I have a few, 2 to 3 meals a day and they're smaller.
I think I'm more like Matt. Like, I won't eat that garbage food, but if my wife puts it in front of me, I'm like, well, now I have
to like,
eat it.
I will not be the one that is in the store. Like, if I'm in the store and I see this shit, it's like, no, you can't do it, you asshole. It's bad for you.
Yeah.
But Jen will be like, oh, that's on sale. He'd like these. And then it's like it's literally like I sit on my desk and you hear the Metal Gear Solid like, ting! And I fucking look right at the chocolate.
That happens to me too, but it's not my wife, it's not my kids that pick shit out. It'll be my old man that'll fucking buy.
I was gonna say your dad,
and then he gives me a fucking like a jewel bag full of candy. Says, "Oh, this is for the girls," and it sits here, and the girls don't eat it. And then I see it, and I'm like, fucking day after day, I'm like, no, I'm not gonna do it. No, I'm not gonna do it. Next thing you know, I'm fucking halfway through a bag of Kit Kats.
That's the thing, and here's the thing: is like it's not even a fat person
we don't buy
thing.
Fucking sweets.
It's not even like people when it comes to sweets. Skinny people are like addicted to it too, like because the problem is it's not even like you don't even search the shit out. But if it's there, you will keep going until it is no longer there.
This is my real fucking problem is fucking, doing those 12-ounce, 16-ounce curls.
Oh, yeah. I told you, man. Anytime you want to come out, come on over here. We'll work out with the dumbbells. We'll get sweaty. Maybe naked. Maybe not. Yoshi's always naked. He's a pig.
We'll do the maybe not portion if I do go over there.
I'm always getting. I love him. If I get better working out too. The problem is with
threw me off there for a second.
I know I did. With
no. When you said I love him. I was like, what?
The dumbbells. No, the problem is with COVID. Like everybody's gotten stagnant. Like you have people who have figured out ways to continue their routine, but if you're a working class person, you're sitting in just nothing. You work all day from your like Lewis. All day he's stuck to the monitor. Fortunately, I think he enjoys doing this show, so he's dealing with it. But
my ass hurts right now.
Yeah, that's the thing is
sitting down for 12 hours now.
But then the other thing is you guys try to get out as much as possible, but there's only so much energy you each have. There's only so much energy Rory has to be out. There's only so many hours of daylight, so it's I imagine the weekends get sucked up where it's just you're 5 days of in one room staring at one thing. It's almost like you get out for rec time from your fucking cell for 2 days, and it's just, in a blink of an eye, it's back to the fucking cell. It's insane. And that's why, for me, I'm feeling the same thing. Fortunately, I'm doing streaming and stuff, but there is days where I wake up and it's I don't have the mental capacity to be on right now. There's days when I want to stream, but it's I can't get kick-started today. I'm not because we're open about this on the show and on the stream. The depression and the anxiety is all rolled into what's going on outside. It feeds the paranoia, it feeds the anxiety, and then that anxiety internally it forces you to think about your own problems and exaggerate those, and there's got to be a release that isn't fucking hitting random people that spin signs because it's tax season.
When I step outside to fucking toss the trash, dude, I get so fucking rejuvenated just being outdoor.
I have never been so happy to have a sunroof in my car as I do right now. Every fucking time I'm outside, I'm so happy we have more daylight because that bitch is open. I'm just bring it to me. Lord shine upon me.
During the winter, it is true, man. It's the fucking most depressing time of the year, man.
I love winter.
I like winter too, man.
There's so much dark, hours that it does bring you down. It fucking makes you gloomy through a majority of the.
The problem is if you live in a place like Chicago, there's such high fluctuations that you literally go from I hate this fucking winter to God damn it, is it hot? I'm tired of sweating.
And there's snow on the ground and it's fucking hot out. And you're sweating balls.
Literally, because we had such a brutal winter, as soon as it hits 60, I'm why is it so hot? I'm out there it's too much already. And it's just 60 degrees with a smidge of humidity.
Because in Chicago, you only get 3 or 4 good weeks out of the year to exist. And everything else is just every day is agony.
I am dead.
Yeah, we're supposed to hit snow again this Tuesday.
Are you serious?
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Bring it the fuck on.
Global warming my ass.
So before
all this just fucking brings it back to a bad trip, doesn't it?
But it does bring it to a bad trip, which let's jump into that. And this bad trip we're not really gonna review. Not that
it's good. Go see it.
Review. It's on Netflix. Go watch it. It's a prank movie.
That's it. We're
done. I was trying to think in my head there aren't a lot of prank movies.
No, not enough.
No, and not with a story either. Like Matt was saying off the show, there's actually a fucking story, and it's not a big one, but it still has something.
It ties every prank together pretty seamlessly.
Yeah.
Well,
there's a reason why it happens.
Yeah.
So the one thing in I can't list the prank movies off my head, but in every prank movie, it's just prank to prank to prank. This movie had flashback scenes
of pranks
and imagination scenes that were pranks that I thought were so fucking cool.
Yeah.
That was the thing. Here's the thing: I'll list a few that are more like this, like Bad Grandpa.
Yeah.
Action Point, kind of, but Action Point was more of a scripted movie with real life
Yeah,
stunts
it's
with the
not.
actors.
Yeah.
But there's not many of these. Like they all go back to like Jackass and Viva La Bam and all those CKY, all that shit. It really, but there's only a couple. Like think about it. It's Bad Grandpa and this one in this vein, and Bad Grandpa felt a lot more staged than this one. This one to me, it felt like the movie just rolled and the pranks just happened. Like the scene on the bus where he's like talking about what they need to do, and you could tell it's literally like people just have like they just mounted cameras and nobody thought twice because you're on a bus, you know you're being recorded. They just figure that's extra, so they literally have them shot for shot, and people are just like looking around like what the fuck. Like the reactions in this were so much more genuine than I felt were even in Bad Grandpa or even other things kind of akin to that.
I thought because of it being Eric Andre that the movie was going to be like nonstop cringe, but like the friendship between him and his buddy is actually pretty fucking heartwarming by the time you get to the end of the movie.
Yeah.
Have either of you guys watched the Eric Andre show?
I love it.
I have not seen it.
My
See,
wife
I don't
will
classify
not.
it. I don't classify it all as cringe humor. Like he's legitimately funny in the shit he does. The cringe comes into the celebrity reaction. But between him and Sherrod Small, or it's not Sherrod Small, what's his name?
Hannibal Buress.
Hannibal Buress. Yeah, that's right. He outed Cosby.
Yeah, that's right.
He's the Cosby outer. The balance between them, where he's kind of the straight man, then like halfway through the episode, he always flips, and like Eric Andre's over here doing crazy shit. And also Eric Andre is one of the comedians that is very vocal about like the whole free speech thing, where it's like a joke is a fucking joke, take things in context. He's openly talked about it. Most recently, he talked about it on Steve-O's Wild Ride. So I really respect him as a comedian. I love what he produces. Bad Trip was one of these movies that I made you guys basically review because I was like, it's been 2 years. Like I'm like it's supposed to be out, and I was like basically like a gorilla.
I think Alex had the most resistance to watching this movie or to wanting to watch it.
Lewis was like, fuck it.
It's not my thing anymore for as far as comedy goes. But I liked it.
But I can understand that. And honestly, I went in assuming like I was like, it's just gonna be another prank movie. But it honestly surprised me. Like it's probably the best prank movie I've seen.
When you compare it to like Jackass type shit and Steve-O and all them and CKY, it's usually the same skit performed over and over and over and over, which it wasn't. And you said it was actually a story, so that's why I was like, okay, fine, I'll watch it because of an actual story. So that means it wasn't the same skit performed over and over. But that's what I liked about watching the end credits. They did show where they did perform the skit over and over to get the best reaction out of people.
Yeah, but they also treated it. They treated it like almost like an Impractical Jokers, where they just had people come in, and it wasn't like the same person, but it was new people every time. Now here's my thing, and I don't think it's controversial, but people might disagree. Because here's the thing, I do agree with Alex to a certain point of if you go back and try to watch the Jackass movies, you're literally watching two fun stunts. I'm going to fast forward through the gross one. Two fun stunts. He's sucking a fart. I'm going to fast forward through it. Like, through a goddamn snorkel. So it's like, this is why I say the Viva La Bam product was a much better show and better product, because you didn't have that. Viva La Bam was all just fun, dumb shenanigans. A kid who's got way too much fucking money and power doing crazy shit.
And you making your friends do this shit.
Yeah, and it was very much, and that was one of the dynamics about that show was amazing, was Jackass was an individual, like basically if you ever listen to the stories about how Jackass season 1 was filmed, Steve-O didn't meet Bam Margera until season 2, because none of the shit was filmed together. So they basically each individually in their areas filmed a stunt. Brandon DiCamillo was already doing his own videos, I believe, in the Portland area, where because he was a skater or a snowboarder. Okay. So he had his own little group that was doing kind of prank videos and shit, much like CKY, but in Portland and snowboarders. So a lot of his stunts came from that shit too. So it's like, that's why I always say I find Viva La Bam to be a better product in that favor, because it's all about fun and not so much about like, hey, he's gonna shoot a bottle rocket out of his asshole and it's connected to his dick. I don't need that.
What about the Dudesons? You guys ever see the Dudesons?
Love the Dudesons.
I did like those fucking guys. They were fucking really fucking out there.
You know why you like them?
They're Scandinavian or they're fucking, I don't know. They're
I believe they were
I thought they were
Norwegian.
From Norway.
Yeah, they were Norwegian.
Yeah. Norwegian? Okay.
Here's the thing, though, and this is why people like Jackass. The moments that you love in Jackass are the moments where something goes wrong and you see the crew run to help. Yeah. And it's the same thing with the Dudesons, because the Dudesons were brothers. They were cousins, or what? They were really tight.
They were family.
And like every time they did something in that show, it was much like watching Jackie Chan do a stunt and watching the extras, where every one of his guys come to check on him and they all look generally concerned. The Dudesons had the same thing. Every time one of them went down hard, it wasn't ha 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 ha. It was, oh, are you okay? And then once ever they knew that their best friend wasn't dead, they laughed then. But
yeah,
Dudesons in that vein is even a better product than Jackass because the camaraderie is better.
Yeah.
I wish I could. If I could find Dudesons, I'd buy them the season straight up.
It's not the same, but I did also like Nitro Circus. I don't know if you guys have ever gotten into that.
I haven't seen that.
Nitro Circus was Jackass without this stupid shit. It was more like motorized stunts and stuff like that.
Yeah, okay.
It's fun.
And I was thinking in my head, I guess all of these movies technically owe, like the great grandfather of all this type of movie would probably be the Three Stooges when you think about it.
Yeah.
I mean,
or Evel Knievel type.
I mean, it's a mix because it's got the Stooges sort of camaraderie and slapstick. It's got the Knievel live stunt and spectacle. It also, you could probably draw it back to the old school, freak show circuses when you can factor what Steve-O does. So it's like, it's almost like Jackass was a vaudeville act that blew up into a television show.
Yeah.
Where it was like this guy's going to drink snow he just pissed on, and over here we've got this guy putting a fishing line through his cheek. And
where as the freak show was, they're going to smash glass and the guy's going to eat glass.
Yeah, exactly. But
it was a freak show.
This is Jackass, and this is why people hated it. Jackass was the new era of freak show. It spawned a whole new era of freak show when you think of like Jersey Shore came out of stuff like that. The reality genre of really started to build up from stuff like that.
Which came first, CKY or fucking Jackass?
CKY. So Bam and his crew, which is Ryan Dunn, Rab himself, Brandon, not Brandon. Anyways, you know the crew.
Raekwon.
Yeah, Raekwon.
And then not D. Camilla. There was, or is it? No.
Yeah, D. Camilla.
D. Camilla, yeah, Deco. So CKY was them basically, and you also had his brother, who was the literal drummer of CKY, the band. Yeah. He would help film it, and what happened is basically Bam and them had released a couple of the CKY DVDs, and one of them came across Jeff Tremaine's desk, and he watched it, and he approached Knoxville at this time, where they're trying to find out something to do, and then basically if you watch Jackass' first season, the Bam stunts are mostly CKY footage.
Mm-hmm.
Not Jackass footage. It was already the shit they had filmed, which is not bad. It's good stuff actually, but it's CKY with the Jackass label, in my opinion.
Yeah,
I think the golden era of it was Viva La Bam though.
Dude, that he had
it all made sense. Yeah,
he had so much money. The MTV was throwing money at him to produce these episodes. And they were fake as shit. You knew shit was scripted, but they were fun.
When they built the skate park in the house, in his mom's house.
Yeah, but for me, classic episodes of that show are when they go to 3 Mile Island and they all build their own canoe raft thing, and they go down the Delaware River, that's not the same episode. The 3 Mile Island's different one where they go to abandon Don Vito and Ape and Phil, and Ape and Phil and Don Vito abandon them instead. So then they out of nowhere, fucking the one dude on a boat brings supplies, and rather than getting off, they build a bar and shit in it, and it's typical shenanigans. Or the Fast Eddie's Treetop Casino.
Yeah.
Bam, Viva La Bam is people can hate all they want on it. It's an amazing show. And here's the thing, I have the uncensored ones, and it's so much in the beginning where he's wherever the fuck I want. It sounds really douchey when they bleep it, but then when you hear him say it, it's actually not that douchey. The bleep made it so much worse. Because he's literally in my head, I'm always whatever the fuck I want. I guess I added, inflection.
Yeah.
And in reality, you hear it on editing. He's like, "Whatever the fuck I want." Like he just didn't even want to say the line. So you're like, "Oh, I'm
Because
okay with that."
it wasn't your voice. It was his voice.
But his voice is not as good as my voice.
Well, and if you're watching this in the future, Bam probably died of an overdose or something.
Please don't, buddy. I'm actually, you know what? Here's the thing, man.
Help. He's fucking. Yeah.
This is gonna go counter opinion.
Spiraling.
This is gonna go but I'm on his side. If you listen to the shit that they were making him go through, it's a little much. He would have to, before going on set every day, go to an urgent care or wherever he could and piss test.
Yeah.
But this is for when he's filming just now. For Jackass 4, to which he got fired from. Like...
But he's been going through a lot of shit because his best friend died, and...
Well, Ryan, much like Chris Benoit to Eddie Guerrero, Ryan Dunn's downfall or death was kind of Bam's downfall.
Yeah.
The problem is when you're in a situation like him where he struggles with addiction and alcohol and you're surrounded by yes men who suck the money out of you, and if you're spiraling, they're going to let you keep spiraling because you're giving them money. And
I mean, but if you look at the whole situation, look at his buddy that got clean and sober, and now he's like a sober coach and a mentor, and like he does speeches. Talking
about Steve-O?
No. Well, Steve-O's one of them, but no, his other buddy that was in a lot of the Viva La Bam and some of the Jackass stuff.
He was gonna be a pro skater. I can't think of his.
Yeah, then he got hooked on heroin.
Not Rab, right?
No. It'll come.
Kovic.
Yeah, Kovic.
Okay, Ryan, what is his name? Ryan Kovic or something like that?
No, it's something else. It's not Ryan. I don't know, but he's big in the later seasons of the show. And then, of course, you got Don Vito, who passed away a few years back.
Yeah.
Oh, Vince Vaughn.
Did he ever get his prescription to Playboy?
That's another funny episode.
Where he wants to meet Hugh.
Yeah, he goes to the Playboy Mansion.
I have a prescription with you.
But, like, you know, Viva La Bam also had shit that was funny, like the character of Compton-ass Terry.
Yeah.
And then, like, he was like, this is Compton-ass Terry. And then the next, like, shot you see is they're all driving in the Hummer. Like, it's just shit like that where it's like, they just wanted funny. Like, if it was crazy and it was funny, like, even the shit that's vulgarly insulting, like making his uncle and father go through a fat man obstacle course with a sandwich attached to their front end by rope, you know, but it's funny.
The thing is, a show like that, you can never, like, there'll never be anything that can compare to it. Like,
no, not anymore.
Okay, so not to interrupt, but it's Brandon Novak.
Novak, yeah.
Oh, not no.
And I do remember him. He was the one that always was really fucking hammered through half the fucking videos.
Yeah, and Bam would just abuse him.
Yeah. They would make him do like the really shitty shit.
Like, that's the thing is, like, that whole group of friends, when you look at him as a whole, like, Ray Kian is literally a biochemist. He had the degree the entire time.
The guy with the fucking hair.
Rab himself has a successful podcast right now. If you have any interest, you can listen to that. It's pretty good. He seems pretty normal. He's got kids and everything. You've got Brandon DiCamillo does. What's that?
The Haggard movie has fucking Ray Kian in it, and
yeah, it is all of them.
Yeah.
Brandon DiCamillo doesn't really want to be associated with the crew because he's got kids and shit now. But he still talks to some of them off thing, but he like doesn't really want anything to do with that. Like that's the thing is they've all kind of like these guys didn't go on to be fuck ups. This was a television show. Their job was to fucking be mayhem. You know, so it's like it's like I don't know. I love that show, and I know we're talking about Bad Trip now. Here's what I'm going to say about Bad Trip because I know we haven't talked about it much. Frankly, I don't want to. I don't want to get into this skit was funny, this prank was funny. It's an hour and a half. Sit down, smoke it a J, drink it a drink, eat it like fucking comfort food for the brain. Don't think. Look at your screen, put the phone down, and enjoy it. It's all you need to do is sit back and be ready to laugh. And if you don't find it funny, no problem, but give it a chance because it's pretty good, man.
And it has Michelle Conlon in it.
Who?
I fucking love it. The fucking Maria lady. The lady I'm up with. I love
More
her.
importantly, it has the TSA agent from Get Out, who's like a low budget Hannibal Buress. He's really funny.
Tiffany Haddish is the star of this movie, in my opinion. Like because she's so big now, and it was filmed a few years back, at least. Like, to see her before she was well known and what probably could have been a big breakout role for her is now that's Tiffany Haddish. We know she's funny.
Mhm.
Like, she's really funny in this, but we knew that she was funny. Like, if you haven't never watched The Last OG with Tiffany Haddish and Tracy Morgan, I cannot recommend that show enough.
Also, something that you have to do is when you watch this movie, actually watch the credits. Fucking watch to the end.
Yeah.
They do have some stuff in there, and it's funnier too.
Yeah.
Just to see
I love to see the behind the scenes when they're like telling people like, hey, it's for a movie. Like that was really cool.
Yeah, I always
yeah.
like to see when they get the releases, because that's what those are.
Yeah.
Basically that's them establishing that, okay, no, it's all fake. Like, you got to sign this. We don't want to blur your face.
Yeah, we'll cut you a paycheck.
By the way, popcorn.
Popcorn.
Do you remember that popcorn?
From
The code word was popcorn. He was,
Oh,
I'm going to get killed. I'm going to scream out popcorn.
the safe
As
word.
soon as I heard that, I was like, popcorn.
Yeah, me
I
too.
was thinking fucking high fidelity.
Jen didn't get the reference. I mean, she's seen the movie, but she hasn't seen it as many times as I have. So, like, to her, she was like, huh? And I was like, Gross Point Blank. She's like, yeah, I know. And it's like, no, you didn't, you fucking liar.
As soon as I heard that, that's the first thing I thought of.
Popcorn.
So, I mean,
when I come.
Is it fair to give this movie a rating? Really? I mean,
Or how about just a yes, watch it, no, watch it?
I think it makes sense to, like, nobody has told me, like, I thought, so this whole time, I'm glad I noticed it, the image is backwards.
It's a bad trip, man.
Apparently.
It's a bad trip.
If you guys want to go ahead and give your little watch it or not, it should be all set here in a sec. There we go.
Yeah, sure. So I like
Whoops.
this is not a movie that you review, like Matt said. It's this is a movie. Put your damn phone down, relax, watch this movie. It's funny. We're going through a pandemic. You need a good laugh.
Yeah.
Check it out.
Everything's so serious right now. Like, this is literally just like, allow yourself to be goofy a little. You'll enjoy
Yeah,
it.
Portland will still be on fire by the time you check your phone again.
Your
Don't worry.
Starbucks will
Or
still
possibly
be
here in Chicago. You
your
don't know.
Starbucks will still be $6. I'll probably be awake all night looking through the window and my scope. Anyways. No. That's psychotic. I don't have a cedar
window?
chest next to the front window to which I can go prone on if I need to. Pfft. I don't understand that the facade of my front house is concrete and I could theoretically probably hide under the windows.
Also, I would assume you'd go no scope, but
No, I would
could be
go. So we have a red dot and we have a 4X. For out the window, I'd honestly, if I'm going prone, I'd probably go the 4X. However, I'm more than likely going to have to get up and move around, so the red dot would be optimal. Once again, you don't go without a sidearm, though, too, so I've got several of those. I've also got Big Daddy, which Big Daddy, well, he likes to turn things into particles.
What about you, Alex? Do you recommend this movie?
I thought you meant about firearms. No, I don't own any firearms at the moment. But
Just Molotovs.
no, yes, I do recommend the movie. Going into it, it's not a movie I fucking care to watch in my comedy thing. But when I watched it, I did fucking enjoy it. It had a story. I think that's why it sold me on it. Because, like I said, watching the same fucking skit over and over, it's fucking redundant.
We're gonna shoot a bottle rocket out of her
I think,
asshole.
Alex, I think I would agree with you. If like someone had told me like it's just a prank movie, I would have been like,
Right.
I'm not like jonesing to watch it then.
Yeah. But then as it went on, there were certain people that you start to notice that they are actors. I liked it. I did like it. But yeah, I recommend go ahead and watch it, man.
The only other one I'd recommend besides this, and if you know the show, you know the formula of it, is the Impractical Jokers movie. Because
I have not watched that movie. I need to watch it.
I think we own it in the Voodoo. Check it out because they did a storyline.
I think you do.
Yeah, that one's got a little bit like this, where there's a whole storyline that ties into their pranks. So that one's worth a watch. The only three you can choose from is Bad Trip, Dirty Grandpa, or whatever it was, and
Dirty Grandpa. That's a different movie.
Bad Grandpa.
Bad Grandpa.
And the Impractical Jokers movies. I mean, unless you go for like the in-betweeners type thing, but that was also completely scripted, just funny.
But yeah, so I guess
Yep. So
go watch it.
yeah, go check it out. It's easily digestible. It's one of those movies that it's quick, it's enjoyable, and you have the rest of your afternoon, or it's a quick movie to go through. You can make love, you can go bake some cookies, whatever.
Something I do have to say about is the reactions from the people that actually that were being subjected to these pranks. Some of them were fucking like just a little too much. Like the Jackie in the rib house or whatever it was, the smokehouse.
Yeah.
She's like, I work in security. She's like, I remember that shit. Like,
Yeah, but you know what? Though, like, people don't want to admit it.
It was funny though. It was funny.
That's how people are though. Like, like people think that doesn't exist, but that's another form of a Karen. Like, just think of it that way. It's like, Karen that is in Mississippi.
And then when it's all done, it's like, oh, I knew you were joking. Wait, let's go back to the recording and show what you said.
Yeah, because you were ratting the fuck out of that guy.
Yeah.
I don't know about you.
I like some of the reactions of the people though, like the legitimate reactions that they got, and that was kind of cool.
Do you guys want to take a quick break before we go on to Freaky, or do you want to just plow through it?
I don't know, Alex. Do you gotta pee?
Yeah, you gotta do a piss break.
I can always pee.
That's weird.
You need to see a doctor then.
We're on that note, we're going to take a break so Alex can drain his constantly flooded kidneys.
Urethra.
Be right back. Love you. Lewis's little face right here.
All right, guys, we're back
With the big crotch.
with the big crotch for our second movie, Freaky
Friday.
Freaky Friday. The original Freaky Friday or the remake.
Jamie Lee Curtis
the
get
triple
naked in the
remake. This is the triple remake. What?
I don't think so.
No,
What'd you
it's a kids movie. She doesn't get
I
naked.
was gonna say, there is a movie she does get naked in. I can't think of the name.
There's
of the fucking
several.
movie.
Trading Places.
That's what I was thinking of.
I mean, True Life, she doesn't get naked, but not a bad scene.
Who? Jamie Lee Curtis?
She eats Activia in that movie.
Right, she's full of probiotics. She's shitting everywhere. She's just dumping everywhere.
So this movie Freaky, which we all had been wanting to see for a long ass time.
Yes.
So this movie, directed by Christopher Landon, it's a Blumhouse movie, which Blumhouse, I like to tell people, it's like you order a meal and it's either it's the way it should have tasted or it tastes like shit. Blumhouse is 50-50. They put out garbage and some good stuff. But this movie was another movie that fucking fell into the throes of the pandemic. So it's 101 minutes long. Budget was $6 million, even with the pandemic and limited theater release and premium VOD, $15.9 million.
Double
So
budget.
again, go theaters, go fuck yourselves.
Yep.
Vince Vaughn doesn't need you.
Yeah, and so speaking of cast, Vince Vaughn, who he wasn't born in Illinois, but he grew up in Illinois.
Tim
so
met him in a bar downtown one day.
You did?
Tim did, yeah.
Oh, your brother. Okay.
that makes sense.
I don't
He
go
does.
to bars, man. Fuck
He
that.
does. He does like to drink. He got a DUI in 2018.
Oh, you
And
getting all
it
this
shows in his character as he's standing and he's walking around.
Yeah. So yeah, Vince Vaughn plays the Blissfield Butcher. You have Catherine Newton.
Like the
she's
fig.
She's in a show my wife liked called Big Little Lies. I think she's in something else.
Jen
My
watched
kid.
that.
The Fosters. My kid fucking watches.
Oh no, I'm think she's in Pokemon. That's why.
Oh,
she plays
okay.
Lucy Stevens.
Pokemon.
My kid says she was in the Fosters.
Gotta
The
catch
Fosters.
'em all.
Maybe she was. I don't know. My kid said.
Fosters. That's with the mother and the foster children, right? That's the two mommies.
The mother and the mother. The mother and the mother.
Yeah,
and
it's
the foster children.
It's two mommies, and they got
Yes.
foster kids.
Yes.
Yeah. The
So
mother-
And one's a
the
cop.
mother.
And one's a
I
cop.
do-
And one's a teacher.
I do want to point out. So the director of this film, Christopher Landon. So he was a writer for Paranormal Activity 2, 3, 4, and the marked ones.
Okay.
He directed the marked ones. He did
The little
Scouts
girl
Guide
is from
to-
the marked ones, I believe.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. No, 3. She's from
Okay,
3.
Okay.
Yeah. He did Scouts Guide to Zombie Apocalypse. He was a
The
writer.
movie's
for...
awesome. If you haven't seen it, Scott's
Yeah.
Guide to the Apocalypse is really fucking good.
Dude, that guy's fucking 1 year older than me. Shit.
And look at what he's done.
He also did, which he did not say no to. Someone had asked him if this movie was in the same universe as the Happy Death Day movies. Have you guys
Okay.
seen them?
I've seen the first
Yes, I seen
They're
the first
good
one.
movies.
Yes,
They're good movies.
I want to see the second.
So this movie might be in that same universe, which there also might be a sequel to Freaky.
one.
It's not
Okay.
It's filmed quite the same way.
same
Yeah.
style, yeah. But yeah, we could just jump into it. We had like I don't know this movie. Whatever I thought this movie was gonna be, I didn't expect it to be as violent.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
me either. The
Which
trailer.
I loved.
The trailer gives you much more of like a Mean Girls vibe than it does Vince Vaughn's
and,
murdering
and
children.
more comedic, right?
And to be fair, the movie is quite comedic. I mean, I think Vince Vaughn playing the teenage girl he's brilliant as it, which is your main. Basically, it's your Freaky Friday story where he comes across an ancient knife that he steals from a group of teens that he brutally murders. My favorite kill in the entire movie is his first, I believe,
one.
with the bottle. But yeah, I mean, the movie, it starts out with him ripping through, your standard teenage party group of kids. And then he gets this relic knife and he comes across the main character who, frankly, is unbelievable only because she would never be an outcast in real life. She's way too pretty to be an outcast, and she's playing an outcast. But besides that, she's a good actress. And they come, she ends up becoming one of his victims, and by stabbing her with that ancient knife, they do the whole Freaky Friday where they swap bodies. So,
it's part of it says that if you don't successfully kill the person, you end up swapping bodies.
And you got 24 hours to swap.
24 hours to swap back, or it's permanent.
So it's a basic trope that what I do like about this movie, and it is you can tell if you watch these sort of movies exactly what's going to happen.
Exactly.
You know from the beginning when they show all of her different bullies that these are the ones that are going to get wiped out by the killer in her body at some point.
Deservingly.
Exactly. So that's one of the things I think this movie hits on the head is you don't have to dislike either character. Because even the killer until the very end of the movie is wiping out all the bullies. So you're basically like, that's Judd Nelson, that's Judd Nelson. Sorry, showing my age. But that's so the whole thing. So you've got Vince Vaughn playing a teenage girl, which is funny, and the whole idea of like not knowing how much power she has, and him in her body not knowing how weak she is, comparably to what he's used to. I like the dynamics they explore. I mean, Vince Vaughn's great in it. The girls, the whole cast is good. Her friends, normally in these movies, I find them annoying as hell, and I really didn't bother me in this one. They were pretty funny.
Yeah,
I dug this movie quite a bit. My wife, I don't think expected it to be quite as violent either. Like, she watched the trailer and was like, "Oh yeah, no, I'll watch that with you." And then it's like, "Oh, he just broke a bottle in his throat," and then he throws the girl up against the wall right on the.
He didn't just break the bottle in his throat. He shoved the bottle down his throat. Then he fucking hit his throat.
Best kill of the movie. Best kill of the movie.
As soon as I saw that, I was like, "Fuck, Matt's gonna say something about this."
Yeah, I also think this movie does not work without Vince Vaughn. He fucking made this movie.
I oddly feel like Bruce Willis could have worked too.
Really?
I don't know. Think about it. Like, he's older now, so he could play that just like disgruntled. Like, I mean, not all creepy old men can be Stephen Lang.
But does he have mannerisms? Does he have mannerisms that somebody else can fucking mimic?
Yeah, fucking Joseph Gordon-Levitt did it. He even put makeup on to look like a younger version of it. It's called Lupa.
That was different. Yeah, that was
Lupa.
different.
Could he do the like? Could he copy her as a student the way Vince Vaughn did in the one scene where he's like trying to prove?
I see. That's the thing, though, is the fact that you're questioning.
Can he dance?
The fact that you're questioning, like, could he do that, shows that if he did it, it would be that much more like, holy shit, Bruce Willis is doing this.
There was one movie that John what's it called? He was in with John Larroquette, and I can't remember her name. Shit, but it was called Blind Date.
Oh yeah.
And he tells fucking John Larroquette, moonwalk, and he's pointing the gun at him, and John Larroquette starts to do the moonwalk, and he starts shooting at the fucking feet, and he goes, I fucking hate that shit. But that's like one of the things where I could see where he can kind of.
Well, he's done. I mean, look at his Die Hard battery commercial, comedic gold.
Oh yeah. That was totally filmed fucking not with the same person in the room.
I mean, the problem is you need somebody that you wouldn't expect. Like, you need somebody like Ron Perlman if it's not going to be Vince Vaughn. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not a big fan of him, but you know,
I've got arthritis.
He's got the apish looking features. He could work.
Can you imagine Ron Perlman trying to do a fucking dance?
No, because he's got ego and everything. Like, it doesn't matter what role the fucking guy is in. He's clay.
He screams ego pretty much.
Or Hellboy.
Yeah. Not even Hellboy, because Hellboy it didn't look like him. But he did fucking what, six or seven seasons of the Sons of Anarchy, and like every role before, during, and after, he's been clay. Like, at least Tig went out and did fucking Officer Down. Not Tig, Tig.
Yeah, it's Tig.
Which is a badass movie. I gotta find my Blu-ray of that and watch it.
Also,
that's
Stephen King has a badass cameo in Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah, he does. You're right. Yeah.
Shit, I gotta see it again because I don't remember which season.
I don't fucking know. 4.
He's the guy that makes dead bodies disappear.
Walton Goggins has several cameos on it as the hooker.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so I think we should maybe kind of treat Freaky a little bit like we did Bad Trip. I mean, it's one of those movies where it's the free, you know the premise. The real fun is kind of like watching the different angles, like we said, the Vince Vaughn acting like where he does the because she's the mascot, so he does the mascot's dance as Vince Vaughn. To basically like, no, it's me to her friends.
To prove.
Which that scene makes me laugh because before that, she's literally just like throwing them on the ground with no remorse. She's like, "You guys attacked me," and she like pushes them and shit. And it's like
the way she kicks her friend in the fucking chest.
Yeah,
you see the slow motion.
Yeah, like but she just has this like, "Well, you're attacking me, and I'm strong," like that sort of thing. The whole difference in Wake Up, where they wake up scene is funny. She does do the Vince Vaughn quiet, like doesn't talk, kind of like Michael Myers type walk pretty well.
At the beginning, that's the only way you see his character, so it's kind of fitting that it went through a majority of the movie.
Yeah,
I do agree with Matt though. Like she's too pretty for her character's backstory. It makes no sense.
You know how many? Not only you would have every one of the like nerdy dudes. Who think they can maybe get her because she's weird and an outcast. But even then, like, look at societal norms. All she did was put on a goddamn leather jacket and everybody's like, "You're so hot." That right there shows it to you. She literally changed clothes and people are fawning over her.
What is it that her mom tries to do? She bought tickets to Wicked at the Anus Theater.
Not to mention that the reason why
not the Annis Theater.
The reason why she ends up in the killer's grips is because her mom's a fucking drunk.
Yeah.
And passed out when she should have been picking her up.
Yeah.
You know what though? I'm sorry if your mom's a drunk and is notorious unreliable, and your friend offers you a ride at night from a rural school, take the fucking ride home.
Take it.
Like you're making this like if you watch Lovely Bones. That movie's hard to watch because the whole time it's like the whole time it's just like, "You stupid girl, why would you go in the hole, you stupid girl?" And then she goes in the hole and dies violently, and it's just like there's that whole scene in that movie where he's tumbling with the guy from the sinkhole, the fucking safe that her body is in, and it's literally 3 minutes of slow-mo. Doom. And he's like, "All right, you got to pick it up on this side." Boom. And it's just like, there's no resolution to that. And then you got Mark Wahlberg out there where it's like, the whole, like, in the slow-mo, basically it's the Insidious fucking scene in that movie. The slow-mo getting the safe that contains her body in the sinkhole. Mark Wahlberg is receiving telepathic, like, signals. Like, every time it hits the fucking ground, he's like, "Is that you?" It's just Jen loves that movie, but
did he use the word with whom?
No, well, and that wasn't my funniest part of dialogue from that was he's like, they get off the train, and they're like, "It happened, and he's like, "What happened? Where?" Like he's just got this like, "Where?"
Did he say where?
Yeah, he does. He's literally
Did he also say wheat have?
Basically, he's pulling the Stewie Griffin where he's like, "What happened? where did it happen? And he's like real winded sounding, like he was jogging like vigorously before nothing that. And that movie, God damn it, it's happening. What happened? End of the movie.
You know what?
Nothing happened. We're good.
I never watched that movie because everybody said that it was fucking really depressing, and I think around the time when it came out, I had just my daughter was born, so I was like, I don't want to fucking watch the movie.
I'm pretty sure nothing happened. Like the whole twist in the movie was there was never anything that actually happened.
No,
I think so.
It was the trees.
Yeah, but it was just like a hallucinogenic
what are we talking about?
Wait,
what are we talking about? The Lovely Bones or
the Happening?
Oh, we're talking. I thought you were talking about Lovely Bones.
No, Lovely Bones is a good. Here's the thing, Lovely Bones.
Okay, so that's why I said that's when that movie came out. I never watched it because people said about how depressing it was.
It's an upsetting movie.
And with me being with child, I didn't.
Well, not even with child. You got 2 daughters, and Lindsay's around that age. Rose isn't too far because the girl's supposed to be like 13. So it's like. The problem with that movie is from the moment it starts, it doesn't give you any illusion. It tells you she's dead. She says, just because I'm talking right now doesn't mean I survived this. And then you watch the whole movie, and it's like, she's dead, but your brain is like, no, she's not dead. She's not dead. They're going to tell me she's not dead. Oh my God, she's dead. And then the rest of the movie is like, he's getting away. He keeps getting away. He's getting away. He's going to get away. God damn it, he got away with it.
See, and that's one of the reasons why I just decided, you know what, I'm not going to watch this movie because I was already told,
It is worth it, though, for Stanley Tucci, where he's like, you gotta be polite. That's a rule.
It's the Tooch.
He's got really weird... We call him Stanley Latucci. Because there was... Jen listens to Chris D'Elia's podcast, and he was talking about when he was filming Army of Dead, which he's probably no longer in. Thanks, Snyder Cut. And... he had the German actor he was working with, and he came up to him and he's like, I will take some Latucci, and he was calling lettuce Latucci. So now and then Chris D'Elia makes the joke of like,
how it's pronounced. Okay.
Yeah, and Chris D'Elia makes a joke of like Stanley Latucci. So now every time we reference Stanley Latucci, it's Latucci.
Okay.
Yeah, a little head
nice.
I really want to see Army of Dead, but I am disappointed he's not going to be in it because I feel like he would have been the perfect like cocky asshole comedic relief.
Did you guys both see the fucking new trailer out or no?
I have not been able to watch the whole thing. I watched like the first 10 seconds of Batista gearing up.
It looks pretty interesting.
It looks like a ridiculous movie, and I am all up for it.
I want more ridiculous, dumb action. I want more Michael Bay movies. I don't care. I want them all.
Batista's not going to be Hotel Artemis. He's not going to be Hotel Artemis, just so you know. And
you don't know that? You don't know that? Maybe the first half of the movie but then the second half of the movie he goes full Samoan for some reason.
He actually starts talking, and he's not. But he is. I think he's more of like Vin Diesel. What's that one where Vin Diesel his wife gets killed? You come into my house.
A Man Apart. Yeah,
it's actually he's more that guy. He's more that guy.
But
I think
in the Hotel Artemis, he does 2 different accents. He goes from Samoan to Cholo. I just talk normal. Like just talk like Batista.
Why does he have to have an accent?
The Rock doesn't have a fucking accent every movie he's in.
But he technically, because he does different accents, is he technically a better actor than The Rock?
Well, no, because we already know Batista is fucking American Filipino.
The fact
he's not fucking Samoan. He's not fucking Cholo.
The fact that scene by scene in a movie,
are you laughing about socks?
Well, the fact right, the fact that he can't keep the accent in different scenes of a movie is the proof he's not a good actor.
That he's not a good actor.
Batista as Drax, great. He's great at Drax. He's not a good actor. No other movie is he good acting wise in.
I think in this one I'm hoping that he's just playing a person, not fucking a character. They didn't tell him to use an accent.
I mean, here's the thing: like Rock has something, but people need to face the truth. The Rock has something Batista doesn't have. Whatever it is, whatever is the thing that draws people, charisma, the it fact, whatever you want to call it, he's got it. He was born for it. He was raised in it because he was raised in the wrestling industry. Batista doesn't have it. The Rock, when he makes a movie, he lives the character. When Batista makes a movie, he's working on a job.
I don't like The Rock. I don't like The Rock as a wrestler because I'm tired of the character. But when I watch fucking his movies, I get sucked in whether I fucking like The Rock or not.
Tell me The Rundown isn't a goddamn good, enjoyable movie.
I love The Rundown. What's that other one? Skyscraper. I fucking hate the premise of it, but I fucking watch it because
With his peg leg?
yeah, it fucking draws me in. It's fucking stupid, but it fucking draws
I
me
need
in.
to watch that movie.
I even liked Rampage. Rampage was even
exactly,
good.
Yeah, exactly.
Which we didn't list in our creature disaster films when we were trying to list some last week.
Shit.
And then the next day I was like, goddamn, Rampage is one of them. Like, I'm driving and I'm like, idiot. Like, I was mad at myself. I was like, could have said that
idiot.
one. I mean, The Rock has a couple, but even think about the ones that nobody talks about that were his first ones, like Faster, Snitch. Doom, to me, there are parts of that movie that are just, if you release all brain function, you can watch Doom and not hate yourself.
So
I remember at the time, the first person scene was the coolest fucking thing.
For 2 seconds, and then you're like,
for Doom?
Here's the problem with Doom, right? Well, I don't understand how you keep fucking up the premise of Doom. It is made for you. Humans built a portal to hell. Demons come through said portal to Earth. There's your entire concept. Why is the movie not people being overrun in the entire base, getting destroyed by... Like, Doom 3 has a better representation of when hell invades than the movies did, and they had a $100 million fucking budget. Like, how hard is it to make a movie where you show a fucking scene where demons literally come through portals and start ripping people to pieces? Why do you need zombie-like creatures in a movie about fucking demons?
There goes your first movie, man. Fucking pitch.
Yeah, sure, I'll get the budget from Who's. Probably
Your-
Uwe
it's
Boll
your-
will
it's your
fucking
reboot.
back it.
You reboot.
Yeah, you do
fucking whole
Doom,
thing.
yeah.
Reboot it. Nerditude presents.
Yeah,
Reboot and Doom.
it would be good too if I had a budget. You give me a budget to make a fucking movie. Not everybody's gonna like it, but the ones that do will fucking love it.
What's that? What's that one movie that fucking he's in where he's the fucking the spy, but when he's in high school he's the big overweight guy.
The Central Intelligence. That movie's awesome.
Yeah, I watched that and I actually liked it. See,
so the Jumanji,
I don't like either one of those fucking.
The Jumanji movies aren't bad, but
I like the first one. I haven't seen the second one.
I have a hard time watching the second one because my mom died, and like literally a week before they had released them on 4K, and I bought Jumanji 1 and 2 the steelbooks. I took the Jumanji 1 steelbook and took the 4K copies of the 1 and 2, gave her the Blu-ray copies in the case for the regular, and she never got to watch them. And I remember shortly after she died, I had come across the Jumanji case, and I was like I just started kind of crying, and I'm like, she never got to watch it. And like Jen kind of looked at me like, oh shit. Like, I found that case yesterday when I was redoing my system.
You gotta save it.
I was just like, she never got to watch this fucking... And Jen's like, put it away. Don't do it right now. And I'm like, I know. But yeah, like, so we're going to have to run through them. Like, I haven't seen the second Jumanji since before she died, because we watched it like the week before she did, when she passed.
Yeah, I still haven't seen the sequel.
It's good. I mean, they're good.
I gotta check it out.
There's people that say they don't like The Rock, but it's like, then you're like, well, what don't you like about him? And it's like, I don't know, he's in too much movies. It's like,
well, like I said, I don't like The Rock the wrestler. I like The Rock as an actor.
Well, The Rock the wrestler, I mean, like, I don't know.
Did
like,
I say wrestler? Wait, what did I say? Wrestler or actor? I said it the right way.
You said you don't like him as the wrestler.
Yeah, you threw me off when you said the wrestler afterwards. So.
Well, I don't like Hulk Hogan as the wrestler. I only like him in Mr. Nanny and Suburban Commando. That's the only Hulk I like. Back to Freaky. Do you guys want to say anything else about it? Do you want to give stars or hot dogs?
You go, Alex.
We should do a live event and only give away
Chicago
dogs.
Seeing...
Like, that'll be the only one.
I have to say, the both of them portraying each other, I did fucking like. Her because you didn't see who Vince Vaughn was at the beginning, his character, he didn't give nothing to it. So how she portrayed him at the beginning was just how his mannerisms were. I like that. I think she did a good job, and I think that fucking Vince Vaughn did a fucking great job of portraying her, because you saw her from the beginning. You saw who she was, and he reenacted.
And you know what the problem, the problem I have with her character is being labeled an outcast. It's like she was just an innocent girl, and maybe that's the whole point. Is they're trying to say that like innocence nowadays is anti-conformity, and
No,
being sinful and dirty is now the normal. Maybe that's a
being
subject matter.
being a father of two fucking daughters, and as far as the school thing goes, if you're a child, I'm not going to say my daughter's fucking beautiful because you know what, my daughter is a good looking child. But what it is she's quiet. She doesn't talk to everybody, and that's where I can relate to that whole thing about how it's believable to me about her being that. So when you're a quiet person and when you don't fucking talk to everybody, and if you have shit going on in your own world and you don't fucking react to people the way they do, I can see how people become bullies, and that's why I think it's believable to me about how they treated her. Only by that.
I mean, let's be real. This school they're in this movie is a money school.
Yeah,
these are
exactly.
rich little assholes.
Yeah, and and especially if you have a mom now. Now, if you have a mom that's an alcoholic,
but even I thought that, like, how can this girl go to that school? The mom's a deadbeat, doesn't make any money. The sister's in law enforcement, so she doesn't make any real money.
Because it's a small town. Like, when you're a small town,
living off inheritance off the dad.
Yeah,
living off inheritance of what the dad passed away.
Whatever life.
Because we don't even know what her dad did. We only know that he passed away a year before this.
Yeah. Now you can
infer
if you want to dig deep and infer that maybe that he was a cop, and that's what drove the daughter to be a cop.
That's what I was assuming.
Yeah, that's possible. Because they never say anything about how he passed or why he passed. But that just me being a father of two daughters, that's the only thing I get.
Don't they just show like a picture of him, and that's like all you see of the father?
I believe so, yeah. But
so let's go full. I just want to go full spoiler, and I want to bring it around to it's got two endings. So it's got the ending they want you to think it's going to have, even though if you're a veteran,
which I loved it. I loved how it all went.
I do like the psych out ending. I love the fact that you get to see Vince Vaughn start the movie as a killer and end the movie as a killer. I like the fact that when we're watching it, when she plunges the thing into his back, even I was like, "Holy shit!" And then like her sister's like, "Holy shit!" I found that funny.
The same shit. I said the same shit.
I was like, "Fuck, she ain't fucking around."
I actually wrote it really big.
Yeah, that was a good kill. I mean, the movie's solid. There's nothing really that I can bitch about it,
she was strong.
Now, I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna get my hot dogs on it, and when you guys are ready, you can. I'm gonna give it 4. It's a solid fucking movie. Good. A 4 is high on my scale.
I would go. Oh man, I would go like a 4.5 out of 5.
If you compare it to other not big budget horror movies, as far as you want to go, like you compare it against that, it's going to get a 5 compared to a lot of the shit I've watched. Let's be honest.
That's another thing. This movie was only $6 million.
I mean, look, and that proves that the big budget box office movie's dead. Invisible Man raked in $200 million with $9 million budget.
It's mostly about location and how you can do your fucking kills.
I would argue, with Invisible Man notwithstanding, lower budgets brings out better writing.
Yeah.
Because you have to focus on the subject matter more than the CG, more than the high-paid actor, more than, you know what I mean? Like, if this movie had a $6 million budget, that means Vince Vaughn probably made $1 million on it. Not much, if that.
Also, that also brings it back to the whole SAG thing, which I don't like SAG, but it does work for low budget.
I'm more of a fan of the Film Actors Guild. Thank you very much.
Well, with a SAG card, you have to perform, I believe, in certain amount of low budget movies and take a pay cut.
Well, SAG is basically an overpowered union.
I know, but according to what they do, in order for you to be a part of their thing, you have to do these things. I believe that's what it is.
Well, you pay dues.
I can't see Vince Vaughn being in SAG in his 50s. Though.
No, I thought SAG was supposed to be they get you roles, not necessarily you have to take certain things. But I thought it was like if you're a part of SAG, that should put you on short lists because you're legitimate. You basically, if you're a fucking welder, you got certification.
Okay, so I'm gonna have to look at it again, and maybe we'll cover it.
I thought SAG was supposed to be basically like, oh, are you if you're not in SAG, we're not going to work with you because it's like a union. Like, oh, you're not in SAG? No, we can't use non-SAG actors.
I thought they were supposed to perform in X amount of low-budget films.
I mean, it's possible. Like, I mean, here's the other thing, though, is like, that whole landscape's now got to change, though. Because what is a low-budget film? If your average film that's going straight to VOD is $20 million, what's low budget?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
That's
20
why,
million's
like,
high.
if things open up a year from now, I'm wondering what the filmmaking landscape will be. Like, will people
Yeah.
continue to be like, no, I'm going to go under the radar,
I don't know, man.
low budget?
My opinion on it is don't fuck around with it anymore. We've been locked in our homes. Everybody with this idea of like, no, we'll be able to go to these places one day. Upgrade your equipment. But the way the budgets on movies are going, the idea like you're gonna have Marvel and shit like that'll still have $200 million budgets like dumb assholes, but the vast majority of movie budgets won't be that big. TV is so much greater nowadays, so much more relevant between original movies that these networks produce, HBO Max doing shit like with the Warner Brothers deal. My advice is say bye-bye to the old school theater. Treat it like it used to be treated back when theaters first started coming, where it was a treat to go, where we're going to the theaters. Oh, great. Yeah, every 3 to 6 months we go to see a movie as a family. Not you were going every week just fucking mindlessly picking something because it's $6 tickets. Like, make it an event again, but for the most part, upgrade your shit at home. Make it with the technology and the price of this shit. You for $600 you can get a 4K QLED TV. A lot of these have Dolby Atmos built into the actual TV speakers. So if you don't have great speakers or a receiver yet, the TV can still provide. I mean, it's just one of those things where piece it together. Go get a cheap surround sound system, but make your shit more comfortable at home and get used to it.
You know what I want to see though? I want to see fucking drive-in theaters come back, because that
I agree. I think it'd be awesome.
It's your own personal space. You can fucking bring whatever you want with you. You have the fucking screen in front of you. Now that they have the technology where you can tune in the radio and you could hear the fucking audio and it's synced up.
I mean, it's as simple as this, dude. Every one of these theaters has parking garages, right? You find that you basically essentially build parking garages that are designed for the drive-in movie. So you'll have the front row where everybody's parked on the in front of the screen, and then you'll have a 3 flat, however wide that'll accommodate. Like, if you take the money and put it into other infrastructure, you could do it, and you could stay. But the problem is that cuts down on concessions and shit.
Yeah, who fucking cares about concessions?
The theater chains do. That's what they survive on.
Well, I know, but if you want to make money on the fucking theater, the movie.
But that's the thing is there's not as much money in it because you gotta remember old school drive-ins wasn't like I'll take popcorn and a drink. It wasn't let me get the potato skins with the shrimp cocktail. Mr. fucking caviar over here. Like, that's the thing is like that the theater industry has now built themselves where you're going to see a movie, but you're really here to get the cheesy tots and the bar and the fucking hot dog and the kids want the nachos. But that's where they make their money.
Yeah, but I'm saying for as far as a movie, for me, for a perspective of movies, I want to see a fucking theater in fucking my car watching fucking. When I took my kids to go see Harry Potter, the first movie, it was like an experience. My kids were like, "Holy shit, this is cool!" They were watching a fucking movie on a screen outside, and we're listening to it in my car, loud, fucking, like as loud as we wanted it.
Well, here's a concept: personal projectors. So rather than having one big screen, each spot has its own whatever square foot by square foot screen. Okay. They all play the same movie. It's all synced up, but it's personal to you. You can put them anywhere.
More electricity.
You can line these fucking things on a hillside, on a beach side. It doesn't matter because it puts it right there as long as it's sundown. Like, if they put the money and creativity, technology funds into figuring that shit out, they could do it. But once again, the infrastructure's already there for the theater. I mean, the reason why the prices of the tickets are back to sky high is because they're just trying to make money off of what they lost.
Yeah.
You got to expect any movie ticket. There's no deals anymore. Right now, it's in make as much fucking money as we can immediately mode. I don't want to go back, frankly. I used to love going to the movie theater.
Nah,
but I've said it before. I stopped going 6 months to a year before because it wasn't the same thing. And then COVID hit, and it's like that's something I don't think I ever need to do again. Will I at some point? Maybe.
Not so much fear out of COVID. It's just more of like I don't fucking care about it anymore.
Why deal with it? Why deal with the headache? Why deal with the travel and the traffic and the assholes in the theater that talk or on their cell phone or
that
the
is
kids
my main thing.
Or the expensive if I'm watching a movie in my home, I can pause it, I can piss, I can make some fucking yakisoba noodles. I can do a lot of stuff. If I want to eat
I
something
can load up on sodium.
yeah, if I want to eat up at the theater, I gotta fucking ruin part of my movie, go get some chicken tendies for $10, and then come back.
And then fucking buy the movie later because you missed that fucking portion of the movie.
Literally, you're watching the movie with your wife 3 months later on VOD or Blu-ray, and you're like, oh, that's what I fucking missed? Like, it's the only time you ever realize that you missed an important chunk of the movie because your wife doesn't tell you. She doesn't, oh, by the way, that you missed when you went to the bath. That doesn't have, like, for her, it's, what happened? And you got to explain every detail of trying to watch the fucking movie. But for them, it's like, oh, 3 months later, oh, yeah, no, that's what you missed. Thanks.
My oldest child's 15, and we took her to see High School Musical 3 for her first fucking movie experience.
Efron.
Her first movie experience, right? So we're in there, and we're sitting down, and she looks to my wife and I, she goes, hey, does this have a pause button? And we looked at her like, why? She goes, I have to go pee. And we're like, no. I was like, if it's either you go and miss part of the movie or you... So my wife and her had to disappear so she can go use the bathroom, at that age.
I imagine in my head that, like, you just, like, you go, no, here. And you hear Alex kick something and slosh across the fucking thing.
Oh, no.
It's just a piss jug you brought
with. A bucket that I fucking moved over? No.
That's my piss jug.
No. If it was me and my friends, yes. But not me and my...
Wait, what the fuck kind of friends you got? You're sharing piss jugs.
No, it wasn't piss jugs. It was fucking 40-ounce bottles.
What were you deep sea fishing in the Arctic? You got to piss in the same bottle?
No, we used to fucking watch. We used to watch fucking what is it called? Samurai Sunday fucking movies.
And just piss in bottles.
No, we never did that. I'm just saying that's what it would have been if we were pissing in bottles.
The most ghetto experience I had in a theater was somebody in my
We used to drink in the bottle. We used to drink in it.
So they brought a 40 and they filled up the soda cup with it, and then the dumbass dropped the bottle, and it was like the Michael Scott ting 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 all the way down the stadium seating of City North.
Nice.
And I was just like, I don't know these people.
Let me throw this out there. 4 out of 4.5 for me. Hot dogs.
Same.
And I had said my reasons why earlier, and then we jumped into Lewis, and then you, and then me.
I say 4. That's a good enough score.
Yeah, you right.
Fair enough.
Do you do it all the time?
Do what?
You rhymed. You do
Score?
it all the time.
I don't want. Just get out of my face.
Come on, man. Princess Bride reference for fucking Andre.
I went straight to Happy Gilmore.
Don't worry, I won't let it go to my head.
Make things out of clay, lay by the bay, I just may. What do you say? All right.
You like Michael Bay. Sorry.
I do.
I know, that's why I said it.
I do. You give me more Michael Bay, Ryan Reynolds movies, Netflix, I'll stay subscribed.
Oh, by the way, there's fucking sequel coming out to
Hitman's Bodyguard. Yeah,
Hitman's Bodyguard's wife.
If you haven't seen Hitman's Bodyguard, it is an
I've seen portions of it. I got to watch it all though. I want to watch it. I
need to watch it.
I think I own it on Vudu. I don't know.
Okay, I'll have to check it out because I've seen portions of it. I want to watch it.
Excellent fucking movie, dude. Excellent.
It's
literally it came under the radar, and it is the perfect mix of action and comedy because it's literally him and Sam Jackson basically like who's the better killer, and it goes from like literally it's organized smart because it's like one scene is Ryan Reynolds being a badass, the next scene is Ryan Reynolds being the comedic relief while Sam Jackson's the badass, the next scene is Ryan Reynolds action guy, Sam Jackson comedic relief, and they switch off really well, and it's got it's got a couple of those scenes where it's like the whole movie's fairly lighthearted, and then there's a couple like hardcore scenes that remind you it's a rated R movie. It's a rated R action flick. But yeah, I can't say good enough about that movie. The movie's amazing. I can't wait for the sequel. I haven't seen the trailer yet though, because is it just me or does every fucking trailer that come out ruin the movie nowadays? It's just 2 minutes of like the story's like okay, I know the entire
all the hot spots.
Yeah,
all the hot spots. Yeah.
So I do my best to like try to not watch trailers at all nowadays. Like I watched the one Zack Snyder cut trailer, and then I didn't watch a single one after that.
To tell you what, those Salma Hayek, she does look great still. We were talking about Desperado earlier, and fucking.
Yeah, she does.
She still looks good. She still looks good in this, and
well, like she was in Grown Ups, and you felt bad for the the other wives in the movie because like you're literally going up against fucking Salma Hayek, like. and she still looks great. Like a 20-year-old can't compete to her. She's just
Was it?
that's nature, brother.
Which one was it that she was in? She was in Desperado or Once Upon a Time?
Both.
She was in
Once
both.
upon
Okay.
a time in Mexicans.
Once upon a time with Mexicans.
So Melanie Griffin was with Antonio.
Antonio
at the time.
Banderas.
Is she still with him? Is she still with him?
I think they're divorced, but I don't know.
Okay. So at the time, she was very jealous during that filming of
She
that
should have
stuff. Do you
been.
remember?
Salma Hayek's beautiful. She's
But
okay.
he said that they were just filming, and she was so jealous.
Yeah, but they were filming a nude scene on top of it. Like Desperado's got that
But
weird
at
sex scene.
At that time, she was getting a lot of plastic surgery, and Antonio Banderas was still with her. Like, even though she made herself look worse. I mean, I don't know.
For one thing, like a smooth talking Antonio Banderas could have done better than Melanie Griffith. He's that suave
the way
Latin.
she turned out
He's
with all that
fucking
fucking
Zorro,
plastic
bro.
surgery, Jesus Christ.
You're talking about Zorro, and he's with that dud of a person.
I understand when people get plastic surgery, but the way she did it, oh God, why?
She didn't even look like she's a fun person.
She didn't
either.
need it.
Like,
She
she's
didn't need
boring.
it. She didn't need it.
She's plain ass white bread, bro. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants that plain bleached ass white bread.
All right. I opened up a fucking.
It's bad for you. There's too much gluten in
worms.
that shit. She looks like a Karen. I don't really even remember what other movies that I've watched with her in it, but
The last thing I can think of is Milk Bunny, and it wasn't even that great.
fuck is Milk Bunny?
With what's his name? Fucking Harris from what's his National Treasure and fucking Apollo.
Ed Harris?
Ed Harris, yeah. He played the dad of this kid who his son befriended a hooker, which was Melanie
A
Griffin.
lot lizard?
Yep, and then he befriended Melanie Griffin.
Episode.
And then
The
he
title of
told
the
his
episode:
dad
Lot
that-
Lizards of Mexico.
He told his dad that she was just this lady that's passing through, and the dad fell in love with this hooker, but the kid didn't tell his dad that she's a hooker.
Yeah, it doesn't sound.
Look it up, man. When you see it, you'll be like, "Oh shit!"
I don't even
remember
look
that
it up
movie
if
now.
I want to vomit.
I remember that movie now. You'll remember it.
And you remember. All right, guys, we're gonna head
You
off.
remember?
Other than that, I'm gonna sign off.
Yeah.
See you guys next week, and also watch Mortal Kombat before you
Yes,
check out our
definitely.
review, because it'll be out on Friday. So.
Yep, watch it Friday.
Friday the 23rd of April. Watch it.
A lot lizards.
Love you.